Hello, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kibitz. It's me, Mary, and I am here today with Saturday Night Shenanigans, A Love After Lockup, Season 5, Episode 38. By the way, I have a real beef on how they are numbering the seasons and the episodes because now I'm totally confused, but that's okay. Hide and seek. So I'm really excited because tonight Zaria and Troy will be joining me. They're going to come on about halfway through. So I'm going to do my recap, leave their segment for last. They're going to join me at about 9:30-ish or so. So, yeah, let's get right into this Hot Mess Express. So the first couple I want to start off with today is Julian and Christine. Because in the beginning, when these two met, Christine was creeping me the fuck out. Okay. I mean, her jaw, her mannerisms, her being so excited to do it raw. Come on, baby. I want it raw. All that kind of like creeped me out to her in the beginning. But now I see that Julian is really the creepy one in this relationship. So it's been about 3 weeks since Christine has been out of prison. Hi, Brian. Thanks for joining me tonight. And she has a job. She's working at a restaurant, and she's really happy that she's working. The sex life between her and Julian is still good. Okay, they do it practically every night. That's important, I guess. Um, but lives up on the third floor, basically. Okay, when his kids are there, she has to stay up on the third floor and be really, really quiet while him and his kids have the rest of the downstairs. Because guess what? His kids don't even know that she's there still. Julian told his ex-wife about dating Christine, and guess what? The ex-wife did a quick Google search, saw all of the news coverage on Christine, saw her mugshot, and is not fucking happy. So Julian can't introduce the kids to Christine yet, and Christine feels like that she's in her own version of prison. Okay. Hi, Philly Fox. Thank you so much. So she feels like she's in prison all over again. She's upstairs on the third floor. Personally, I'm glad to see that she has a bathroom up there. That was one of my major concerns. Is like, where is she gonna pee? Does he expect her to like pee in a bottle and poop in a bucket? I mean, that was one of my major concerns, but thank goodness it looks like she does have a bathroom up there. But still, it's like she's in prison in her own home. Like she said, she can't put up pictures of her and her family around the house, because the kids haven't met her yet. So the kids going to be like, who is this lady and her kids, you know? So they get into an argument, and Julian is very passive aggressive. I agree with Christine. Okay. He doesn't yell, he deflects and then just leaves, removes himself from the situation without trying to work anything out, without trying to come to a resolution. If it's not going his way, he shuts down and leaves. He won't yell though. So he's been keeping a secret. And this is what freaked me out. Okay. He lost his job a week ago, but he's been getting up and pretending that he's going to work every day, putting on his work shirts, his work button downs, and getting in the car and going off and acting like he's going to work every day, which he was laid off about a week ago. He has about 2 to 3 months worth of severance, and after that, he won't be able to make the rent. But he's keeping all these things from Christine. And I'm sorry, I think that's a bullshit excuse that he doesn't want to set her off. He doesn't want to stress her out. He doesn't want to possibly, cause her to relapse. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Okay? Because if anything, dropping this on her lap at the last second. Oh, by the way, Christine, did you know 3 months ago I lost my job and I am out of severance, didn't get a new job, and we're gonna be homeless in a couple of months. Do you think that will cause her to relapse? Than giving her a heads up where maybe you guys could work together as a team to resolve the problem that you got laid off. But Julian, in my opinion, is a control freak. He needs to have everything under his terms, so he's just going to keep this from Christine until he's able to resolve it himself, which is bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. So Christine's working at the restaurant. She says Julian doesn't like her working at the restaurant because she assumes it doesn't make a lot of money. Okay. Julian says the reason why he doesn't like her working there is because there could be drugs in the restaurant and that might set her off. I'm like, dude, she's working at a sports bar. Okay. Like, come on. I don't think anybody's like doing anything, any illegal substances in the bathroom. I mean, it looks like a sports bar. Okay. So anyway, he's, nervous about her being exposed to drugs at her job. Her coworkers, listen to her. And one coworker in particular listens to her stories about Julian and doesn't like him. And she said the same thing I'm saying, that he just wants to control her. And keeping her up on the third floor is a way of, him having control over her. So her coworker doesn't like him. At this point, I'm not liking him. Okay. So Christine has dreams and ambitions. She's gonna branch out into stand-up comedy. She wants to put all of her energy into something healthy that doesn't involve substances. And I am all for it. I'm like, girl, you go ahead, you do whatever you want to do, you branch out, follow your dreams. Just make sure that you have a job that you can support yourself. But that's a whole nother story. So her co-workers are like, oh, maybe we could go out and get a drink after work. And she's like, yeah, Julian's coming to pick me up. Maybe we could all go out. And she goes out to the car when Julian comes to pick her up. And she's like, listen, me and my coworkers want to go out and get some drinks. You want to join us? And he starts, making excuses. Oh, I have to drop the kids off at school in the morning. I have to go home and make my dinner. No, Philly Fox. I did it. Um, I have to go home and make my dinner. I have to, and then this is where he slips. I have to prepare for my interview in the morning. And Christine said, hold up, wait a minute. What interview? Okay. So then that's when he was like, oh shit. Let me just come clean. Okay. Christine, I lost my job a week ago and I've been going on interviews. And she's like, what? Hold up. Why didn't you tell me this a week ago? Like, this is my life. And, I would have reacted the same way. Like, this is her life that's involved too. Their lives are intertwined now, whether Julian likes it or not. Okay. He may be keeping her up on the third floor like a prisoner, but their lives are intertwined now. And his situation affects her, just like her situation affects him. So, yeah, she was pretty pissed off, and I don't blame her. And it totally shoots out her trust for him because she's like, now, if he was able to keep that from me, he still hasn't introduced me to his kid. Most of his friends and family don't know about me. What else could he be keeping? And listen, I have a feeling there's a lot more that this dude is keeping. And so we shall see. Next, I want to get into Shante and True. Okay, because I just want to reach through the screen at times and shake Shante. And then other times I want to reach through the screen and grab True by his neck. But considering True's probably 3 times bigger than I am, I don't think I would be able to do that because that dude is fucking big. Okay. So anyway, last week he just showed up at Shantae's house, made her steak and eggs, and I'm like, okay, he, thinks the way to a woman's heart is food. So he shows up to her house. She's pregnant. She's having twins. Okay, and it's the day for her to go get her ultrasound. And she believes that True has to earn the right to get to go into the ultrasound room with her. Now, this is where I'm just like, God, is this like producer bullshit? So she shows up to this place called Belly Image. Okay, she tells True, you could take me to the ultrasound place. You could wait for me outside. We could do things after, but you're not going inside with me. And I'm just sitting here, like scratching my head. The vein in my forehead is like starting to throb. I'm like, okay, is this like producer bullshit? So they go to the place. He's waiting outside. She goes into this place. It's called Belly Image. I looked it up. They do 3D, 4D ultrasounds, mommy spa treatments, and they sell baby clothes. I'm like, oh, this sounds like a cool place. So she goes in there. I'm assuming she, was going to get a 3D ultrasound or whatever. And she walks in. She goes into the ultrasound room, and she's sitting there, and she feels sad and lonely because she feels like, True should be a part of this experience. And all I keep thinking is, girl, pick up your phone and call him and tell him to come inside. He's in the parking lot. Like, it's not like he's physically not there. He was like outside in the parking lot. And she's talking about, this is feeling like a lonely experience. I'm like, girl, pick up your phone. Like, what the hell? But, deep down inside, or should I say the vein in my forehead that's throbbing is going, this is all producer bullshit. This is all producer bullshit. So she decides that she's not going to have the ultrasounds. Okay. And she's going to come back, another time. And maybe next time True will be with her because, she feels like he has to earn the right. So now True was saying to himself when Shante went inside that he's hoping that he'll be able to make it to the next ultrasound appointment because he might be on house arrest or in the joint. Why? You bet. I'll be getting into that in a second. Okay. So let's see here. Now it's time for True to meet the kids. Okay. He's gonna be. It's family night. It's family game night at Shantae's house. All the kids, the grandkids, and her best friend is gonna be there. Okay. So the best friend we know is not feeling True. She hasn't been feeling True from the get-go. And she is, Shantae's bestie. You could tell that she will slice a bitch for Shante. Okay. So she's just kind of like looking at True. And they play, they all play charades. Everybody's getting along with True. Shantae's sitting there looking at, this whole family scene. And she's like, oh, okay, she's happy that True is blending in and getting along with everybody. Shantae's BFF is like, True, let me ask you a question. Do you have a steady source of income that you could provide for Shante and your babies? And he's like, yeah, I work at the casino. The vein in my forehead was throbbing. And her friend looks at him and like, that's not a job. Gambling is not a job. No, I work at the casino. So you get W-2 from the casino? You clock in and clock out at the casino? He's like, oh, when I go, they take my ID and they scan my ID in this thing. She's like, I know. I've been to a casino. And I was yelling the same thing at the TV. I'm like, True. They do that at all casinos. Trust me. I've been to a couple in my life. Okay. So she's like, do you clock in and clock out? He's like, yeah, that's clocking in and clocking out. Yes, I agree. Shante and True are almost like Taylor and Chance. I agree, Stacey. I just wanted to reach through the TV and shake the fuck out of True at that moment, okay? So the best friend is looking at him And she's like, that she's not feeling him at all. And she says that she is just so worried about Shante because True's not going to step up. Okay. He's not going to be able to provide. So she's just worried about her bestie. So it's during this conversation that True decides to casually drop the fact that he has to go see his PO the next day, and he may or may not be going to jail or may not be on house arrest. Shantae and her bestie both look at him like, what the fuck? Shantae's like, he's had all day to tell me this. Okay, we've been doing stuff. I mean, he was laying in my bed when I woke up this morning. He's had all day to tell me, and he chooses until the end of game night at the end of the day to tell me that he wants me to drive with him the next day. Oh, yeah. Okay. This is what he was thinking that Shantae could do for him because he doesn't know what's going to happen. He may get arrested. He may get house arrest. But, since Shantae is his baby mama, he, wants her to come along and, be there for him in case the worst goes down. So I'm like, girl, okay, so now let me get this straight. He is dropping this on your lap. He says he's going to pay for the hotel. I would have told him to take the hotel and shove it up his ass. He is dropping this on her lap a couple of hours, basically a few hours before he has to be in front of his parole officer to find out whether he's going to go to jail or be on house arrest because his PO violated him because he fucked up. Okay, true. Now, remember, this was one of Shantae's major problems with him, that he didn't take his parole seriously, that it's, True's world, that it's everything according to True. Well, that shit came back to bite him in the ass, and his PO violated him because he wasn't staying at the address that he told the PO he was staying at. So now, it's next day. Shantae had to get babysitters, people to cover for her at work, okay? And she is driving 5 hours behind True, going back to True's neck of the woods so he can figure out what the fuck is going on, okay? Now, True's shady as fuck. I just want to say that. He is shady as fuck. So he got Shantae driving behind him, and he's just speeding, going fast, to the point that Shantae calls him on the phone, and she's like, can you slow the fuck down? You are driving way too fast. He's like, oh, this car accelerates, whatever. He was like 20, 30 minutes ahead of her. He gets to his town before she does, and he makes a side trip to see a female friend. You got Shantae fucking coming, driving behind you 5 hours, leaving her whole life behind. Okay, kids, a job, grandchildren, everything else, to basically hold your hand while you go see your PO to see what the fuck's going to happen. But you took a little side trip to see your female friend. Why don't your female friend go with you to your PO and see whether you get arrested or not? Like, what the fuck? So, of course, Shantae has no clue because she's like 20, 30 minutes behind him. Then she pulls into town, and the one thing is, and just like listening to her, sometimes I'm just like, she says he needs to get his act together by July because she's going to have a C-section July 28th. So he needs to get his act together. Now, there's been tons of rumors going around about what happened to the babies, whether she gave birth to the babies or not. Shantae says she'll be able to clear everything up after the season finale, which is in 2 weeks. Believe you me, I'm going to have her on here as well when she's able to talk freely after the season finale, which is in 2 weeks, because even I'm confused about part of the storyline. Okay, part of the storyline as to pertaining what's going on currently in real life. So I'm a little confused as fuck, and I can't wait to talk to her without her contract being in effect and stuff, because I've had her on here twice, and I've always kept the questions within the lines of her NDA. So I cannot wait so I could talk to her without her NDA. So, Shantae says she feels like True has deeper issues, and it's stuff that she can't solve. It's like he has to solve it for himself. And I'm thinking, girl, who are you kidding? But Shantae herself just needs, and I know that she is very independent when it comes to taking care of her house, taking care of her kids, her grandchildren, bills, making sure everything is held down. But when it comes to True, in my opinion, she looks very codependent. And it's like, girl, you don't need him. Okay, you even said it to yourself. You don't need him. Then why are you acting and looking so codependent on this man? And that's where, once again, I want to reach to the TV and shake Shantae. Okay. So that's Shantae and True. I just, another thing before I forget. True mentioned that he has a son that's 15. The last time he saw his son, he was able to hold him like palm of his hand. He's missed out on his whole son's life. This is why he wants to be there for Shantae, step up for his kids and all that. And I think that's fantastic if he actually does it. So now I just want to share this with you guys. Shantae shared this to her stories. I want to make it bigger. True said his effing kids wasn't a paycheck. That's why the scene didn't happen. And this is a picture of True, his baby mama, and Shantae. Okay, I got this from one of the Facebook groups. So, hey, Shantae and the baby mama, looking cordial the way it should be. So, moving on, let's see, who do I want to tackle next? Oh, yes. Let's tackle Kim and Joey because Joey's lucky that he's not my man, because if my man would have spent $2,200 of my money out of my account that I worked my ass off for on tires and rims after I told him that his budget was $500, well, I would have reported those charges as fraudulent and his ass would have been back in jail. Just saying. Okay, that's me. That's my personal opinion. But okay. So Joey's been, doing a lot for the kids, getting them ready for school, dropping them off, picking them up at school, and he feels like that he's entitled to some tires and rims. And Kim is like, I'll get you tires. That's no problem. Tires are an important safety thing, but you don't need rims. Okay? So your budget's $500. You could go to the tire shop and get some new tires. Well, Joey decides that he's going to treat himself. He deserves to treat himself to these rims. Joey, go get a job. Okay, so you could treat yourself with your own money. So, he hands over Kim's debit card without blinking an eye, and him and his friends are there in the shop waiting for the tires and the rims, and they're playing pool. And his friend is like, I like this new version of Joey. It's good to see, Joey's in love with Kim. They ask how Kim is doing. Everything's great, blah, blah, blah. And then Joey's like, this fucking bitch. This bitch won't stop texting me. And I'm like, what bitch won't stop texting you? Are you talking about Kim? You better not be talking about Kim. You're spending $2,200 of her money right now. He's like, this bitch won't stop texting me. It turns out that it's an ex of his, okay, who hasn't gotten over him. And apparently, when he got out, she hit up one of his friends and said, hey, give me Joey's phone number. And the friend handed over Joey's phone number. And next thing you know, she's texting him, I love you, I miss you, I want you. blah 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 blah. And he's like, listen, leave me alone. I'm in a relationship with Kim. Oh well, how would Kim like to see all of our messages and letters and know that we've been in touch this whole time while you were talking to her and blah 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 blah. I'm like, Joey, his friend has a point. What has you been telling this chick for her to feel so comfortable to be even texting you like this? I love you, I miss you. And she ghosted you all those years ago, like you said she did. Why does she feel so comfortable and just texting you out of the blue? You've been home for how long? And your ex is texting you. Okay, so Joey doesn't want to tell Kim because he doesn't want to fight with her. Yeah, no shit. Because you know Kim would be pissed the fuck off, and on top of that, you're spending $2,200 of her money on fucking rims and tires. So so Joey's home. Kim comes home. The minute she comes out of her car and she looks at his car, he's in fucking trouble. It's like he is in major trouble. So he's like, I felt like I wanted to treat myself. I just went over $1,700 over budget. And Kim is like, are you fucking kidding me? You always do things for yourself. That's why you wound up in prison. You can't be spending my money like this anymore. Give me back my debit card. I would have been like, give me back my debit card. We're going back. We're returning those fucking rims, or I'm going to call the bank and tell them that I didn't authorize this charge, and your ass is going back to jail. So it's your choice, your freedom or your rims, Joey. Like, the fuck? That is a lot of money. Huh. So they get into this whole argument because Kim is like, don't you realize that we need money for things that are upcoming in the future, such as our engagement party this weekend and our wedding. I need a dress for both. We need money for both. And he's like, I don't give a shit about either one. If we don't have the engagement party, I don't give a shit because I don't care about half of these people. And we could go to the courthouse and get married. And either you could accept it or you could be a bitch and bitch about it. And she's like, do you think that I deserve something like that? And he's like, well, at least we're going to be married. So she just walks away from him. She removes herself from the situation because honestly, she looked like she was going to fucking strangle him, and I don't blame her. Okay? So it's like you need to contribute to the household before you spend all the fucking money that's in the household. Okay? So Kim posted to her social media, and I guess she has a message for, in her words, Miss Irrelevant. I guess that's Joey's ex who was texting him on the show. So I love Kim's sassiness. I really, really do. So now moving on, we have Hope and Arthur. Okay, so they are going to the Islamic Center. Now, Arthur grew up as a Muslim. Okay, he was around it with his father and etc. But as he, grew up and started getting into trouble and went to prison, he lost his religion basically. And because of the mental health crisis that he suffered, he's going to see therapy, unboxing a lot of the stuff that has happened to him. And so he feels that maybe if he returns to Islam, to this community that he feels a part of, it'll help him. And it'll help him feel stronger. It'll help him spiritually. It'll help him mentally. So him and Hope go to the Islamic Center, and he's talking, and Hope goes off with the wife of the Imam, and the Imam's wife also was a Christian, but she converted because Hope is currently Catholic. Okay. And they were talking about, Hope converting. Arthur was saying that when he was incarcerated, it was hard to tell between the real Muslims and the fake Muslims. So that's kind of how he fell back. But now, he really feels like he wants to be part of this community again. So, Martha, the Iman's wife, is talking to Hope and I'm educating her about Islam. And in this scene, I actually kind of liked Hope, okay? Because I'm like, okay, this chick is doing the right thing. She's asking questions, educating herself, before she does something drastic. And if there's any watchers of 90 Day Fiance out there, you guys know what I mean. Okay, marrying a Muslim guy, converting without even knowing a damn thing about Islam. Okay, so she's talking to Martha and Martha's explaining about the covering up and not showing off your body. And then she also says, well, the man is the provider. The man should be taking care of you. And she's like, well, what happens when a man, doesn't have an income and doesn't have a job and isn't providing at the moment? And Martha says, well, he should be ashamed of himself. Your money is your money, and his money should be used to provide for you and the family and etc. Okay. So the next scene, they're going to a sewing class. See, his sewing skills are limited to sewing with a needle and thread because that's all they had in prison. So, the sewing machine that she got him has only been used a couple of times. So they go to a sewing class, so he could take a class and get the hang of it, because this is, a new fangled gadget to him. He hasn't used, so going to a sewing class. And I don't know why Hope had to bring this up and kind of like ruin the moment per se. She says that she wants to be the light for him. She wants to be, his strength because when she had dark days, he was there for her. So she wants to be there for him because she knows, he is suffering mental health wise, and she just wants to be there for him. But her actions are like the total opposite, in my opinion. Okay, so they're at the sewing class, and first she brings up the subject of him job searching. And she has a point that she just wants to make sure that he's not laying around, falling into his depression and not looking for work and etc. etc. I get it. Okay. I get it. She wants to keep him motivated, and she doesn't want to be paying all the bills. She wants him to contribute. Yes, I get it. Guys, give me one quick second. I'm sending the link. Sorry, guys. Zaria and Troy need the link. Let me just send it to her. Guys, I apologize. I totally, totally apologize. Okay. Zaria and Troy should be joining us any second. I forgot to send them the link. I sent them an email with no link in it. Duh. Okay, so they should be here any second. Let me just DM her. Okay, perfect. She got it. They will be here any second. Sorry about that. Okay, so basically, during this scene, I wanted to strangle Hope. Okay, because I feel like I understand these subjects need to be brought up and addressed, but Arthur at the moment was having a serious mental crisis. Okay, just a few days before. He's trying to find his footing still. Okay. We know that he's traumatized. He suffered from major PTSD from all of this. And we don't know exactly what happened to him, but something major happened to him. And he is suffering from PTSD. um he is in therapy, but if Hope, wants to be the light and the backbone that she says she wants to be, I feel like she's not going about it the right way. So she went from asking him about job searching, and he was feeling frustrated and upset because he's like, what do you think? I'm not looking for work. I'm not putting in hundreds and hundreds of applications and not getting any responses back. So she goes from that conversation to, when are you going to get down on one knee and propose? Now, Arthur says, I did ask you to marry me. I don't remember the exact date, but while I was in jail, I proposed to you. And she's like, when am I going to get my real proposal? And he's just kind of looking at her like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't even have a job. We just finished having this conversation, and I don't even have a job. So, where do you want me to get money to get a ring and get down on one knee? And like she said, okay, he proposed to his ex on social media. He did the whole getting down on one knee, proposing on social media. So why can't she get that? Not that she's comparing anything. She's not comparing anything. But why can't she get that? And I'm like, girl, for someone who wants to be the light and the backbone and there for this man, you're not. It's like you're not doing it. You're not doing it. This is not being this man's backbone. Okay. So she's like, are you gonna get down on one knee and do it the proper way? He looked at her dead in her face and he said, no, no, no. I'm like, oh shit. And they have different meanings of the word engagement. When Hope thinks of engagement, Hope thinks of, a ring and getting married ASAP and all that good stuff. No. Arthur thinks of an engagement as going on a journey to see if marriage is going to be the ultimate end goal. Okay. So while Hope sees engagement, boom, marriage, Arthur sees engagement, hmm, and let's take this journey. And when I feel like it's the right time to get married, then we'll get married. So, as you guys may or may not know, in real time, Arthur is back in back incarcerated for an incident that apparently involved Hope back in May. So his brother and his mom have been on social media. Okay, they did a GoFundMe for his legal expenses, and his brother is running the Instagram account. And as you can see here, a reference to him saying no to Hope. And then he left a special message for his fans. So I just want you guys to hear that real quick. He's apparently seen all of the messages that people have sent to him, worried about his mental health and all that stuff. So I just want to share that with you guys. share my screen.
Hey, what's up, y'all? What's going on, man? And I really, y'all have no idea, bro. I really appreciate the love and the support and all the, the words of encouragement, man. That shit is keeping me going in here, man. So please keep doing it for me, bro. Keep it coming. And if this case I haven't got back to you, there's quite a bit of it's quite a few of y'all. You dig what I'm saying? So if I haven't got to you, for sure, you know I'm gonna get to you, bro. It's not enough time in the day for me to get to everybody, but I see it, bro, and I really, from the bottom of my fucking heart, man, I really appreciate that shit. So I really appreciate y'all checking in on a nigga's mental health and just my well-being, bro. Like it's overwhelming, bro. And sometimes it damn near brings a nigga to tears, my nigga, because I didn't know that many people gave a fuck about me and my situation, man. So like I said, man, I love all of y'all, bro, from the bottom of my heart.
Okay, so that is author with a message for all of his supporters. He loves everyone. He appreciates all of the support. But yeah, from what we see on TV, things are not going too well. And another point that I want to bring up is Hope is so wanting to get engaged and having like the whole, social media, getting down on one knee, engagement thing, even though she's not comparing herself to the ex, but she but she hasn't told her sisters and her family about him. Don't her sisters follow her on social media? Aren't they going to be like, who the hell is this guy that's proposing to you? Why haven't we met him? Etc. Etc. Like, I don't get it. Last week, when they were in the fabric store, she didn't even want him to like talk to her while she was on the phone with her sister. But she wants him to get down on one knee and do like the whole public proposal thing. I don't fucking get it. I really don't. I don't fucking get it. So, Zaria and Troy should be joining us any second. Okay. I'm the dingaling that sent them an email with no link, but I'm hoping they got it and they'll be able to join me in a minute. I'm just gonna quickly go over their segment, and then when they get here, we could talk about it. Zaria is in her room and she is flipping the fuck out. Okay. Last week, where we left off last week, Troy left. Troy went walking. Okay. If you guys watch 90 Day Fiance, he went walking like Michael. He walked. He said, fuck this. I'm removing myself from situation. And he went to go take a walk. Allegedly for 6 miles. I want to ask Troy if he really walked 6 miles when he gets here. So, while he was like, gone, his mother kept calling Yana, the baby mama, every 2 seconds. And yes, they are here. Hi, guys.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Sorry about that. I had a little pothead moment,
No problem. No problem.
So I was just getting to your segment. Okay. And Troy, my first question is for you. Did you really walk 6 miles?
No.
Like they said you. I knew you didn't walk no fucking 6 miles.
No, he said 9.
9 miles?
Almost 10.
Get out.
Yeah. No, when they had it, see what they misunderstood on the show was where it said 6 miles. I was 6 miles away from the house when they finally, like when I finally stopped walking. I was close enough. That's how close I was to the house.
So was production following you like in a car or something?
No, they were. I made them follow me on feet.
Oh, they must have been pissed, especially the camera guy carrying around all that equipment.
Yeah, they were pissed. They were pissed.
All right, so I'm just getting into what they showed this week. Zaria, you were flipping the fuck out, hon.
Mm-hmm.
You were not happy. You called your sister. You're like, I'm gonna fucking murder Karen at this point, but she's
So
out
I
there.
didn't call my sister. I called his brother.
Okay,
That's who I was on the phone with. So yeah, I didn't call my sister. I called his brother.
okay. So, do you want to clear up any? Because I know you guys have a lot of feelings about
Mm-hmm.
this particular scene.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to get into like things like that where because on the show they show that you were calling your sister, you didn't really call your sister. Do you want to talk about your perspective on what was going on during
Yeah,
that
I want to
scene?
tell you what happened.
All right, talk to me, girl. I'm listening. I got my blood.
Okay. So basically, during that day, we had gotten into an argument. What was that argument originally about before you walked?
The argument was originally about you misunderstanding about me being on the phone.
Okay. So, and then you came back and then we talked about it again.
Um,
That's what I'm saying. They merged it.
and they got it like because now it's confusing us.
We really can't even tell you what really happened because they put together what they wanted to for this episode. And that's just what we can say without trying to break contract.
Right, of
Now,
course.
as far as like what I can say about my feelings towards that day was
Yes.
that we got into an argument and the argument was not what they're showing on the screen. It was a different argument about something general, like just with our relationship. And I told him to get out. Like, what a lot of people don't understand is that I met this man while he was incarcerated. I'm
Right.
bringing him into my life, into my home, all of the things that people and the apprehensions that other people or the audience have. Obviously, I had those apprehensions as well. And the way that we were starting, especially only what the third day, fourth day out of him being out
Right,
of
exactly.
prison.
Uh-huh.
And we're having all of these issues, and then the baby mother and the conversation. Troy's very open and honest with me. You know, I told you that in our first
Yes, you
conversation.
did.
He's
Yes, you
been
did.
very communicative. So
Right.
the fact that when we were filming on that particular day, he was in the bathroom talking to his baby mother. I can tell that he's talking to her because he was saying her name. Now, my
Right.
thing is, he always has a conversation very openly. He doesn't have to talk to his baby mother in front of me. It has nothing to do with jealousy. But if you always do something, and as a male, if you twist it and you do something differently, as a woman, your red flags are going to be raised like,
Yes.
am I
I
missing
agree.
something?
No, I agree. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So then at that point, while I'm trying to communicate, obviously, like I'm in a high intense anxiety. I have bipolar, so at this point, like my blood is boiling, and I feel myself about to have a manic episode. So I'm trying to just get in my head and express how I feel, but it's coming off as me being, rude, disrespectful, because I've been wanting to ask him these questions, like where you been, like what's going on, but he was gone. Like he literally left. Granted, yes, I know I told him to get out, but I feel as though there's a sect of women that can feel me, that they get upset and they'll just be like flipping out on their significant other, or vice versa, men, like just people with partners. Like I'm just one of those crazy people that just says things and it's just like, get the fuck out my house, like, but genuinely,
And
like I
two
know.
seconds later, you don't mean it. You're like, come back. I didn't mean that. Come back.
Literally. And being bipolar doesn't help because it's like, I'm just very emotional. It's like, you know what? Get out. And production is around. So I really just want everyone to get out, right?
Right.
Like I just want to be done with this.
Right.
I'm
So the
not
get
used to
out
it.
was like a blanket. Get out.
Exactly. Like I'm just done. And then he leaves. Now I don't know if, because I've only seen bits and pieces. I gotta watch like the whole thing together. But in
Okay.
reality, his baby mother was calling. So
Right.
she called Karen on the phone and she was like, he's right under your nose. And I'm just like, first of all, you don't talk like that. That's mad weird to say as a response to Karen asking like, "Hey, have you heard from Troy?"
Right.
And then I get back home and his phone is at home. So I'm just like, okay, he couldn't have been calling anybody because he don't got his cell phone. So Yana, what are you really doing? You know, like that
What are you
instantly was
trying to
like,
imply? Right.
right. Like what do y'all really got going on? First you have the conversation in the bathroom I don't know anything about. And then you now have a conversation with Karen and you constantly have to go back and forth with
Right.
her getting on the phone, getting off. Then she reveals, or she tries to reveal, that I had an affair. Now, mind you, the only reason production knows is because I told them that, right?
Right.
When we were having our first initial interview conversation, I've been very open and honest, right? With production, obviously, this is something that happened between me and my husband last year, and we got
Right.
over that, and we knew that it was going to pop up during the show, but we had agreed that how we wanted to present it to the public was a sit down serious conversation. We didn't want to have drama behind it because this is something that a lot of couples face, but we're always so on the men. I wanted to share my perspective because there's a lot of women who sit there and lie and make it seem like, oh yeah, I'm holding my man down, and that's really not the case. Yes, granted, there's a lot of women that do, but there's also some women that don't. And I just wanted to show how I got over that situation and got over,
Right.
just, dealing with an affair and hurting my husband and being in a
Mm-hmm.
very vulnerable moment, very close to him coming home. Everybody's like, oh, that's stupid. It was so far, so close. But when you're dealing with, being lonely and just craving that, physical touch and all that comes with that, I went into a vulnerable state, and that's just what happened. So I was willing to take accountability. That's another reason why I made a post on my Facebook to try to,
Right.
like, encourage
Right.
people, to let them know that that's the place where I'm coming from. So fast forward back to the show, you have Yana bringing it up as if it's new information. I'm
And
already
do you feel like production manipulated it that way?
Hell yeah,
absolutely,
absolutely.
Okay.
absolutely,
Okay. And then
absolutely.
that
Because in
and
that point in time, to bring that up was like irrelevant.
It didn't make any
It had
sense.
no relevancy as to what was going on exactly in that moment. Like, I'm missing. I don't know where I'm at.
These
People are
days home from being home.
and people are worried about me. So the last thing anybody's thinking about, like, oh, an affair, and especially if this was, a year ago before I came home, like we already talked about this. I done already went
worked
through
it
the
out amongst us.
emotions. I done
Mm-hmm.
already we didn't went through the whole shit already. So it's like, okay, I'm home now. We living life. So when I come in the house and they're telling me like, oh, she brought up this, that, and the third, I'm like, wait, what? I was fucking pissed because, like she said, it wasn't supposed to have been brought out like that. It was supposed to have been a sit down conversation, and we genuinely wanted to, express what we went through at that time, to encourage others and to just push forward. Like, it was a lot of it gets very, very discouraging at times. So it's like we just was trying to just let people get some encouragement, for the females who do feel like they want to give up or don't know how to go about talking to their significant other that's
Right.
being locked up or whatever the case may be. So we just was being genuine about the situation. There wasn't nobody trying to, like, the way it's portrayed on TV is like embarrassment. You know what I'm saying? And genuinely, it was nothing to be embarrassed about. I was in prison when this happened. I know why it happened. You know what I'm saying? We were going through shit in this particular time. So it's like to sit there. I didn't want people ridiculing her or trying to bash her. You know what I'm saying? They got me looking mad ditzy and slow on the show. I look like I'm just being told what to do. Go on, Troy. Go follow him. Like, that's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just always, I'm
Yeah,
always
I
being
know.
yelled at. I'm always
Mm-hmm.
being told to get out.
Oh,
So I
one of
just
my
look like,
followers, Troy, I gotta tell you, one of my followers said that if she's heard you say 20 words this season, that's too many.
Wow.
exactly,
See?
because they don't
You
have
And
see?
anything.
he has,
Yeah,
but
he
they took
has.
all of
But the
it
way
out.
they portray all the women around him.
Yep.
Because I wouldn't cheat. I wouldn't have no. I wouldn't. they made me look that way because I didn't have nothing going on coming out of jail. I don't have.
They wanted him to cheat. They wanted him to be the villain in the story,
and I didn't be. You know, they wanted that. Oh, these guys ain't shit. Da, da, da. So now it's been a plot twist in this whole thing, and it's like, oh my God, these guys are institutionalized. They're traumatized. They got traumatic shit going on, and these women are just treating them oh so badly. And it's like, it's two sides to the story. It's different perspectives, different points of views, and it's like everybody's coming from different walks of life. So people are just so quick to judge when people probably ain't even held a person down for one day in jail. They probably don't even know nobody in jail. They're just watching the show. They don't know nothing.
I know what you mean. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I could like this, right? I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look, I'm smoking. I'm like, look, I'm smoking.
Right.
Troy, if the host is smoking, it means it's okay.
Right.
Well, yeah, that just was.
So yeah,
I just want to ask
Go
you
ahead.
the whole screaming, because the way you were screaming at him
Mhm.
behind closed doors, and then you opened up the door and drew your mic out at the
Mhm.
producer. What was going through your head?
Nothing. I was having a manic episode. I don't think that people really understand how severe bipolar disorder is. Like, it's not anything.
Let's talk about it. Yes.
It's not anything to and I'm not talking about you because I'm just talking in general because this is the common and consensus of,
and
why
you're
didn't
taking
you
medication
control
for
yourself?
it, right? And you're on meds?
I'm on meds now.
Okay.
I was
good.
not on medication then because me and Troy had a conversation last year and he told me, like, basically he didn't want me to be on medication. He was like, you don't need it, like, it's all in your head, blah blah blah. I said, okay, you sure? Yeah, you can work through this. So what you all are seeing is unmedicated ZERIUAH going through a manic episode. So yes, I'm screaming on top of the because I'm blacked out at that point. Imagine it's and people are like, oh, you were upset about it being exposed. No, I don't want my husband to be put out there like that. He deserved his voice to be heard just like mine. It's not just about me. This happened to him. Allow him to have that sit down conversation like we asked. So in all reality, the person I'm really screaming at is production, and that's what they're afraid to say. I told that lady to get the fuck from in front of that door. I'm talking to her. I'm not talking to Troy. And the reason why Troy came back was, you know what I had to say? I said, yo, I told the producer, I said, don't come to my door one more time. Y'all are playing games with me. Y'all got people calling. Y'all got Karen in the loop acting silly. She knows what's going on because Karen's the one who told him to stick by me. She told him I would never hold nobody in jail. And her baby father was in jail and she didn't hold him down. So to make it seem as though, oh, I don't know what's going on. And you know how Karen
this is new information. Yeah.
Thank you. It's not new information. It's not new information.
My mother had this conversation while I was in jail. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a genuine conversation between me and my mother. And it was like, at one point in time, I did tell myself, you know what? I'm not about to do this. And I'm about to let nobody be treating me like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I deserve better. X, Y, and Z. So I had it was a point in my time in my bed where I wanted to give up. I stopped calling for, a few days at a time. Like, I wasn't calling like that, all types of shit. So when I had the conversation with my mom, like, I was breaking down and just expressing how I feel. I never expressed to my mother how I feel about another woman. So this is my first time, expressing to my mother about how I feel. This is her calling me now. Spoke her up. That's crazy. I was speaking to her about the situation, and she was just like, there was no justification as to why I was giving up. Like, it wasn't good enough. It was like, okay, like when I told her that, okay, my wife did X, Y, and Z, she was like, okay, what about it? Like, and it was like, Ma, I'm just expressing to you how I'm feeling. Like, I'm going through something. And she like, yeah, well, what did this girl do for you while you've been in jail? She was the one that was there for you. We went down the whole list of all the good stuff that was going on in a relationship. Focus more on the good and stop focusing on the bad. And it was like, listen, I'm not doing no jail bid with nobody. I'm not even doing no jail bid with you, and you my son. So the fact that this girl don't know you, came into your life and was there for you, she does not owe you anything. So the fact that she was real enough to sit down and do 5 years of her life with you, not knowing you, taking that risk, taking that gamble, you gotta show her. You gotta show her some respect and move forward from that situation. You gotta leave that in the past. When you leave from jail, leave it in jail. Don't bring that shit home with you. So now what y'all seeing on TV is us bringing that shit home from jail.
And we made that promise that we wasn't gonna do it to each other.
Right.
So when I'm screaming, I'm trying to like tell him. Now, mind you, it's like 10 production people, and I'm trying to have this conversation. So I'm trying to tell him like what they're doing, but I'm on the mic. So it's like I really can't say how I really feel about them because it's being recorded. And then they mix that with also me yelling at production because when I took my bra off, people were like, why I took my bra off? My mic is attached to my bra. They will not let us take our mics off. So you're constantly being recorded. And now that we know what we know, is because now is at that moment where I may just be having a break or a vulnerable moment. Now that's on the show in a weird way that doesn't make any sense. So I took off my mic and she was like, say you're quitting the show. I said, I'm quitting the show. And I threw my mic off. Me and him was in there. And that's why I posted a video today of me and Troy in the jewelry store because we had a conversation and that was it. And that was the
Hold on,
reason why I
girl.
posted
As a
it. Go
matter
ahead.
of fact, I have it. I have it. Hold on.
Yes.
You don't meet a content creator. I got it. Give me a
Period.
second.
You know I got
I
stuff
wanted to
ready for
share
you.
that. I wanted to
And
share that.
by the way, we appreciate you oh so much.
Oh, you
Genuinely, from
got
the
it.
heart.
You got it,
Genuinely
guys.
appreciate you.
I'm not here to be mean. I'm
Go
just
ahead.
here to report what's going on and have fun.
Exactly.
I'm not
That's
trying to
why we
tear.
love it.
Yeah, I'm not trying to tear nobody apart. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know, I just talk about what I see on the show, what I see on social media. Try to have you guys, a platform for you guys to talk about stuff.
Exactly.
You know, I'm not trying to tear nobody apart.
Exactly.
All right, so let me just get this all.
All right, let me call you back. Let me take this interview.
Just make sure. Okay.
Mom, I'm on the interview. You got to call me back, Mom.
All right, so this is the video that Zaria's talking about.
You're at the jewelry store. What you getting?
I'll see you in a minute. I'll see you in a minute.
Today is day. How long since you've been?
4 days. Cash.
Okay.
Couldn't wait to get in the jewelry store.
Yeah. How does it feel to be in a jewelry store for the first time?
Smell that? Smell rich. Smell like rich people living here.
Yeah. You got a lot of stuff.
Something like that. Nothing crazy.
Okay, so you were saying that you posted the video.
So I posted the video and it wasn't, people are like, oh, it's an excuse, it's fake. No, I posted it because obviously I knew I was going to have to explain this whole situation this weekend. But I've been waiting to post that. And I don't even know why I took that video. I know it was his first time, but I'm glad that I did because that shows that we, as much as like everybody's like, oh, the way you were talking to Troy about perception versus reality. Like there's a lot of context that's missing. And once again, I was in a manic episode. We had a conversation and I was very overwhelmed. That was what, a 16-hour day. And we were supposed to be still driving to Buffalo after that.
Yeah.
So we didn't. We ended up staying in Syracuse. And you know what? Like we had a good time. Me, Karen, and Troy went to the jewelry store, me to the mall, and
Right.
Karen rode around. We was in the jewelry store and like we enjoyed the rest of our night. And I posted that to show that, what works for other people it may not work for other people, but like we were able to overcome that. And it looks so like scary on TV because that's what they want you all to see. But
Of
like
course, yeah.
genuinely, we both have mental issues that we both deal with, and it's just I'm the one that's able, to express, and Troy's going through what he's going through right now. He's still trying to figure out what's PTSD, what's mental health, what's what. So we're just trying to figure this out together. And, I publicly apologize. I'll apologize again on your platform as well. I'm not meaning to disrespect or be rude to my husband or, be a bad wife or anything like that. I was unmedicated. I'm still working through and understanding what bipolar feels like. I've just been diagnosed 2 years ago and now I'm medicated. So it's like, it's more of a reflection looking back at someone that, I no longer am and that, I'm striving not to go back to be.
So it's possible that during that time when you and Troy were going through really dark times and you chose to cheat on him, it was because of your bipolar and you didn't know how to process those emotions and deal with stress. And
Yeah, my psychologist told me that, especially people who deal with bipolar, when they're in manic states, or sometimes depressive states, you make unrational decisions. And a lot of people just can't conceptualize that. Like they just feel like it's an excuse.
right.
But bipolar is a chemical imbalance in your brain. Just like, if you were to have cancer, if you were to have some type
Yeah.
of other disease, it's a dis-ease of the mind, which is
Yes.
something that is silent and that so many Americans and people across the world are dealing with, across all races, all sectors, and I just feel like I'm trying to, and that's something that I wish that they had included because I talked about in my interview. Because
Right.
I didn't want people to think that I'm just this angry person because they only show that. They don't show, the other nice things we did with each other. So, that's why I like taking interviews like this. I like going on live. I like
Right.
posting things to show that like we do have like it's not no just toxic
Right.
angry
Toxic drama.
relationship.
And we keep it,
Yeah.
Because
we keep it
that's
in
what they
real.
want to show,
Yes.
and that's another thing why I like to provide this platform for the cast members is because on the show you guys are limited to what the producers decide to show, and
Thank
once
you.
they have a narrative, and this is not the only show I cover 90 Day Fiance as well, which is another short show. Once they
Mhm.
have a narrative, they stick with that narrative throughout the whole season.
Literally.
And as a content creator, I usually figure out the narrative by the second episode.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
So this is why I like to provide this kind of platform so the cast members could come on and say, listen, in this particular scene, they cut this out, or this happened. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm. And people don't see it. They just think whatever happens on TV, that's it, it's just cut and dry, black and white, and it's not. It's way more complicated than that.
24 hours in a day. We filming for 18 hours. How much of that do you see on
A
TV?
couple seconds.
Exactly. But cheating is wrong, period. We're
Yes,
not condoning cheating here at all.
absolutely, absolutely.
Cheating is wrong. Cheating is never the solution.
Nope.
But you guys worked it out, and that's all that
Mhm.
matters. It's between you guys.
Because there was
Mhm.
My
understanding
relationship. You know what
in
I
the
mean?
situation.
Yes.
I was being nasty. I was being rude. I was being abusive verbally, emotionally. Like I was not being the husband that I was supposed to be just as well because of things that were transpiring around in prison. And, I'm getting on the phone and I'm just got so much. I'm engulfed in this prison life because this is all I know. This is what I'm breathing and eating and sleeping. And it came to a point where, like, it was kind of causing confusion in my relationship because she's so tired of prison and it's like all she deal with every day is prison. Do this. What is it for? Something to do with prison. She going shopping for clothes. What is it to do? Something for prison. Anything she does, she's so mentally incarcerated. She just wanted to be free from that. So when she expressed what she was going through, it was like, when this happened, I didn't expect to feel like this. In the midst of that, it wasn't about me feeling like this. It was just the freedom of, not having to deal with jail shit, being able to, sit down in the restaurant and have a dinner date and actually talk. You know what I'm saying? Go for a walk, go for a hike. It was just wanting to just do things. It wasn't about the individual necessarily. It was more so just of the time that the person was able to just have. You know what I'm saying? This person is free, they're available, they can do things. I'm going through shit. My husband's not being the husband that he's supposed to be. He can't be the husband that he wants to be, even if he could. It was a rocky road, and it was like in this time, it was like, yo, I got 11 fucking months. Like, what the fuck is going on? and it's like everything was spiraling out of control. And I'm just in my head like, we getting money, we got a nice car, we getting a house together, I'm getting ready to come home, we've been doing shopping, and it was like, Troy, that's not it. That's not the issue. It's not the problem. The problem is my mental health. The problem is my physical touch. The problem is my love language, my quality time. I don't get that. And it's been, constantly interrupted when you on visits. She's excited to see me. She get there, something's wrong, a pin in your hair, something's wrong with your clothes, got to go back to the car. And it's like when you going through this, you have to restart these processes over and over and over. And it's so aggravating. So for a person to deal with that and strive and fight through that, even during this time, I mean, we still talked, we still like it was very hard, but I mean, I'm here today. We made it through. Like, it was definitely it was a very hard struggle for the both of us. You know what I'm saying? It was hard for her to even have to stand to face me to admit some shit like that, knowing that I gotta see this person. Like, this is my husband. I'm married to him. And for her it was, I feel like it was just more so of a, you know what? If you can't understand what I'm going through, and I feel like I hurt you so bad, you feel like I hurt you so bad, it's best that we just go our separate ways. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was very big on that, to go our separate ways, and she strived to stand on that. But the better half against it within me was just like, don't give up. And when I did call myself to go with her and give up, I had that conversation with my mother, and it changed the perspective on things. And then she did genuinely, I got her to a point where she did get to a vulnerable state of mind. You know what I'm saying? This person is not the person that you can confide in 110%. And she broke down and expressed how she really felt. And, in this point in time, it was like, wow, it made me see a different side of her, because like, damn, she finally showed vulnerability, and showed forgiveness in the situation. Like, she was even hurt within herself. Like, I did this to you. I did this to somebody that I love. I did this to somebody that I call myself wanting to be with. And it's like, how can we fight to get through this? And it's like, okay, if we gonna do this, number one, we not gonna be keep talking about it, throwing up in each other's face. That was hurtful for her, because time and time again that conversation kept coming up and kept being thrown in her face. Even when she being genuine, she don't even know we having certain conversation. And it's just so many things that's triggering when she talks about certain things, because she's not thinking nothing of the conversation that she's having. She's not thinking about the contradictions that's coming out of her mouth in this particular time. It's like, dude, what the fuck? It was a battle. So we genuinely was coming on the show to tell our story, to let people know that, this is real, this is what we went through, but we made it through, and we here today. So I don't like the way that they have us looking on TV and stuff like that, because we genuinely came in this with pure hearts. We didn't know. Yes, obviously, they look for drama and things of those natures. I seen TV and I always knew what it was. But to forcefully get somebody to act like that, they're not genuinely acting like that. They're forcefully acting like this. And you go into a manic episode, it's like, oh, we got what we're looking for now. And now they're at peace. They're ready to leave, pack their shit and go. And now we have to live with the reality of what we just broadcasted to national fucking TV.
You guys have to pick up the pieces. They got what they wanted, and you guys pick up the pieces. And that's another thing I try to, let people realize, is that these are real people, real lives. And what they, try to manufacture for entertainment purposes affects these relationships, affects couples. Like, I really believe that reality TV affects couples who start off with good intentions. Maybe they want to make a couple of dollars, bring in a bag. And by the time they're done with reality TV, their relationships are shot.
Mm-hmm. we can see that how that can happen. Honestly, yeah.
Right.
we
Right.
put so much time in striving to be genuine just to look silly, and it's just like that's very hurtful. So at the end of the day, it just comes to, you know, reframing your mindset to embrace that shit. Like, this is what y'all want. This is what's getting us talked about. This is what's getting us quote unquote lit. I mean, fuck it, embrace it for what it is. Do we like it? Hell nah. But at the end of the day, it's like we still get a chance to show our audience who we really are. Like, people really been tapping in with us, listening to them lives, and they're like, hold on, Troy, this a whole different you. Zaria, this a whole different you. You know, we love your hair, we love your hair. And it's like, what y'all thought she had this ponytail in for months? And
Girl,
that's
that
just
is the
like,
majority of comments in here. When you first came on, they were like, "Oh my God, her hair. We love her hair."
You know, that's what when we got off last time, I
Mm-hmm.
was so worried about clearing up other stuff. I forgot about that and I
Yeah.
didn't get to share it on here. So I want to share it on here because I didn't get to share the story.
Okay.
So
Please do.
first of all, I'm never the type to keep the same hairstyle in, like, unless I like it. Like, I like this, so it's like I'll keep it in. But the ponytail in my mind was okay, this is something quick that I could keep up with. Originally, I was supposed to have something like this, but black. My
Okay.
hairstylist canceled it. I was
Mm.
supposed to start filming on that Monday. This is 2 days before Troy's coming out. I had just found the week before that that I had made the show. So,
Right.
like, I'm like, oh my God, I need somebody to do my hair. Got my hairstylist. Cool. Same day of my appointment, she texted me and was like, oh, can you come later? Everyone's worst fear of their hairstylist saying. So I'm just like, oh my God, she's going to cancel. She didn't say anything later. Boom. Now, my hairstylist that always does my hair, not able to do my hair. Got to go on Facebook. Now, all of the scammers come around.
Of course.
So I say I'm gonna pay an extra $100 because it's like I need my hair done on the weekend. I need it done right. Like, this is gonna be for TV. I'm trying to get people to motivate it to do my hair. So my friend does my hair, and I'm not gonna get into too many details. But at first I did like it, right? Like, at first I liked it. It was curly, like it looked completely different. But then the next morning, all the curls dropped. Like, the ponytail was higher than I thought. I'm just like, so I texted her and I was like, can you do it? But she didn't get back to me in time and I'm filming. So I tell Troy, I'm like breaking down. I'm like, I hate my hair. Like, I don't want to go on TV looking like this. That's the first thing people talk about is somebody's hair. Like, I'm crying. He's like, I'm being dramatic. To this day, he literally just told me last week, he said, babe, I'm not gonna lie, like, I didn't think it was nothing wrong with the ponytail till everyone started talking about it. So I no longer trust Troy's judgment at all whatsoever. I already
No.
knew what it was. So between that and my face breaking out because of the birth control, I didn't want to do it. And then it's like now I'm having people trigger me and I was over it. I was over it. I'm not gonna lie. So it was a lot going on. I did my own hair and I usually get braids. So you'll see braids in Life After Lockup.
We
And I
see them in the
promise,
commercials. So yes.
I promise, like I told you last time, it will never happen again. It was just the one time my hair was ever messed up. It just so happened to be on TV.
TV. Literally.
So that's the hair.
Never had no hair problems.
And if you all notice, right? In confessionals, I actually have a wig on in one of them. Like, it looks like a ponytail. You have to notice, watch the hairline, and
Okay.
the curl is longer. Like, especially
Okay.
in these upcoming episodes,
I
completely
gotta
different.
look out for that. Okay.
Look out for that because
All
they're gonna
right.
talk about it, so you know about it now.
Okay.
I rebelled and got braids. And they say, oh, you have to keep your hair the same. You have to keep your hair the same.
I
Oh,
was
you
gonna
can
say, girl, you did not get braids halfway through filming because they want you to look the same.
I did. I did. And so they made me get a wig. And I had to make it look like it was that ponytail. I was like, you guys are literally making me relive this ponytail. And you know my hair looks, well, the audience needs to see the same hairstyle. I said, no, the audience is going to appreciate my hair being nice looking and not this messed up ponytail. Everybody knows a ponytail can't last 10 days, especially after having sex with your husband for the first time. Like, come on now.
True that.
48 hours, like y'all gotta give me a break here. The ponytail was done when Troy walked out the gate.
That first night, that
It did
ponytail was
not
done.
land no and I had to film for 9 more days after that. I was frustrated.
So when y'all see her in clips like trying to gel her hair up and stuff like that, she couldn't change it.
Right, I genuinely was trying to fix my hair, and they're like in my face.
Oh, people can relate to this.
How?
But they're talking about it very bad.
They know what
they're not saying, "Oh, I had this problem before with my hair," or they're like, "Look at her trying to fix it. Look at her, terrible. Take it out, redo it." Like,
why did she keep it in?
Spending all
Because I
this
had
money
to.
on this inmate and her hair is not done, and it's like, what the hell? Okay.
So, is there any other things that have aired or you see people talking about that you want to address besides last night's episode, which I believe that you already talked about? Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I'm not jealous of his baby mother. A lot of people keep saying that.
Let's clarify that.
There's no jealousy.
Can you talk about your current status of your relationship with her?
I can talk about it. What is it, next week?
Next week.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can talk about it next
Okay.
week. But I just want to say that I am not like a disrespectful person. Like, I know you all see me like saying how I feel, but once again, there's context to that. So like at that time, in that moment, that's how I felt about his baby mother, because I genuinely felt as though she was trying to sabotage our relationship, and she was trying to use their daughter as basically some type of push and pull to control him, right?
Okay.
And I was misunderstood. I can explain more after next week's episode, hopefully. Hopefully they
Okay.
don't drag it. But I don't have any issues, like I believe in co-parenting. I want them to have a good co-parenting relationship because that just makes everything better, and it's about the child. It's not about me. Everybody's so focused about me and her relationship, and to me it's like I want him and his daughter to have a good relationship. Him, his daughter, his baby mother to have a good relationship. That's where it needs to start. I'm now coming into, baby Troy's life when she was younger, but like I wasn't here from birth. Like she didn't know me prior. So like my thing is, my priority for him has always been be with your daughter, make sure that you're constantly a part of your daughter's life. Like I don't have to tell him that. Like he's an active father. So I'm very, very supportive. And while he was incarcerated, like I was the one that was, when he wanted something done, I did it for him. Like when I will go into a store and I get my son something, I'm gonna get my baby something too. Like baby Troy, like that's my baby too. Like I don't look at anything like stepchildren, things of that nature. Like there's no animosity. How can I, feel some type of way with her mother if I want to have a good relationship with her? That doesn't make any sense because I wouldn't want nobody around my child and they feel some type of way about me.
Right.
So there is no issues. There's no jealousy. There's no reason to be jealous. She has her own person, like she has her own life. Like she's doing well. I want her to do well. Like I want us all to do well because at the end of the day, like they have a child together. Like
Right. Exactly.
baby Troy's only 7. So it's like we might as well all get along, work it out, because it's about the kids at the end of the day. It's not about anybody else. It's about these babies and making sure that they have a good, healthy relationship from the trauma from dealing with having their father incarcerated. So there is no jealousy. I know that I've seen that everywhere, and that's just what I have to say about that.
How about your relationship with Karen?
I love Karen. I don't know why people think that like I feel some type of way about Karen.
I love Karen too, by the way.
She like everybody loves her. So it's like Troy told me, okay, so everyone knows, you all see, everybody's like, oh, church girl, church girl. It took me a while to even like, I know people are shocked that I'm like cursing, whatever. Troy really helped me like be my own person outside of being a pastor's kid, all of that, right? And
Right.
one of the first things he told me was like, Zaria, you have to learn how to communicate like for yourself. And if you're gonna deal with my mom, you gotta cuss her out. And I'm just like, I would never cuss my mom out. Like, what are you talking about? I would never talk that way. I tried it my way. She cursed me out. She did all types of crazy stuff, kicked me out of her house.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, why did she kick you out of her house? Like, what was that incident?
Okay.
Let me hear
So
this.
Troy was talking to this female
Okay.
previously while he was incarcerated. And then it became me, Troy, and the girl talking, right? Like a couple.
Okay.
So his mom felt some type of way with her for whatever reason. I still don't know to this day. So when I was visiting her one day, I told her to pull up so I could see her. And she was like, don't let that bitch come in my house. And I'm just like, why are you being disrespectful? I'm just going outside. Well, if you going to go outside, you could get out. I was like, so you really kicking me out? And this is literally the day before Troy's dad's funeral. So we get into an argument, and yeah, like we stopped talking for a while because of that. Because it's like you being petty. It was no reason to go hard like that. I wasn't doing nothing. Like I could go outside. I'm not no child. But then I had to go and get a hotel. So like that was just the situation with that. But ever since I start cursing her out, we don't have no issues. Now I don't really have to. She already seen me go off on her. She went off on me, and then we laughed about it. And it was like, she like, girl, I see why Troy married you. You just like me. And so it's like, you know, it's fine. And I just take her in spurts now. But we talk every day. Trust me, all day, every day. There's no issues with Karen. We was just with her last week. We be trying to go live with her too, because everybody be like, where's
Oh
Karen?
yeah, we love Karen. I
Yeah.
would love to get Karen to come on here, but I can't message her. Saria, I tried. I went to her Facebook and
Hold
you
on,
can't
I'm on the
message her
YouTube interview.
You can? Where?
on
I'm on the
Facebook. You
interview. I'm
can't.
calling you back.
Oh my gosh, I have to fix it for her because she was
I'm on the
asking.
YouTube interview. I'm gonna
Yes.
call you back.
Yeah. So check her Facebook because you
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
message her on
As soon as I get
Facebook.
off this interview.
yeah, yeah, I
Okay.
will.
Okay. Cool. What else did I want to ask you? How's your son?
My son is doing good. He's in the room right now. So he's living life, okay? He's
Does
perfectly
he
fine.
see himself on TV?
Yeah, we let him see certain episodes. Like he hasn't seen the past couple episodes.
Right.
But if he's like in like the church scene, he's seen that. He's seen when his dad came home.
Right.
So
His
he's
scene with
seen.
Karen, your son's scene with Karen out in the parking lot. Girl, I was crying. I was
He was
crying.
trying to get through it so bad. You could just see him. He had anxiety. He just was
Yes.
trying. My poor baby is just like, she didn't know what to do.
Oh my God. I was crying. That shit was so funny. So, is there anything else that you guys want to get out there before I let you guys go?
Yes. I just want to touch on the baby mother thing again. There's no bad blood. She has her individual. They have a child together. They've been together. I didn't even want her a part of the show or the story because it has no relevancy to it. That's not my past life. I was not dealing with her before I went to prison. And the fact that they use that is like, enjoy the show, okay? Because it's like, it's literally it's nothing. Like, I could literally call her, chop it up, like, it's nothing. She be with her dude. Like, I be asking my daughter, what you about to do? Where you get this? Whatever. Oh, my stepdad. You love your stepdad? I love my stepdad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he been in her life. Me and him had a conversation as far as a respect thing. You know, I just want to know that my daughter's safe when she with you. If she asks you for anything, that you know my baby, she good. That's all I care about. We got an
Right, exactly.
understanding. Moving forward, me and him ain't got nothing to talk about. If we do, it's concerning the kids or you know our quote unquote baby mother, and that's just far as it goes. But other than that, you know, they living their lives, they happy, they doing their thing, and that's it.
So, what are you guys looking forward to in the future?
Getting a farm and being away from people.
I feel you, girl, but I wouldn't be able to live the farm life. I feel that being away from people, but
No farm?
no farm. I don't think I could do the farm life.
I want a blueberry farm.
Oh, that sounds
And
nice.
I want some horses. I want to start horseback riding. I don't know. Like I feel as though when I start making plans, like real, like quote unquote concrete plans, it never happens that way. Like
Right.
if you would have told me 5 years ago, oh, you would have been on TV, I would have been like, no, I'm not. Like I don't even be on video in my personal like life. So it's like
Right.
I want whatever wants me. And as long as it's with my family, my husband, that's what I want to do. I want to expand on our businesses and um, we got black Karen gummies coming out this
Yes, I see.
September. So we're
Yes.
excited about that. Troy started his floor cleaning business. And yeah, so we're just taking it day by day. What you trying to do?
I am trying to live a prosperous life, luxurious. I want to be calm, cool, collective, strive every day to remain humble. People get me out of character here and there, but I'm working on my emotions, my anger. I'm striving every day to be a better husband, you know. Um, and I just want to encourage others to just like you got someone that you with and you love them, you know, accept them for who they are and just know that it's gonna get better. It's gonna always get better. You just gotta learn how to just stick through, you know. If it's not meant, don't force it. But if there's hope, don't give up. Continue to strive. I don't believe in giving up. You know, I let other people make decisions, so I don't have to make those types of decisions unless under crucial circumstance. But nonetheless, I just want to live. I came home with goals, and so far, I've been all my manifestations, all my dreams that I slept through. I'm literally walking every day. You know, I enjoy being with my kids. I love seeing them together and playing and happy and spoiled and pouting and getting on my nerves. So, I
That's the way
mean,
life should be, right?
Mhm.
Kids being spoiled and getting on your nerves.
we the new adults of our generation. We're
Right.
younger parents. We got a greater chance to see our kids grow and enjoy the technology with them. We get a chance to really teach them the things that they need to know about this thing we here called life. And I just want my kids to know that, you know, one day when they come back and they get to look at this, like their father really was a person that strived every day to just want to be a better person no matter what. Like, no matter what I did in my life, no matter what justifications I gave myself for those reasons, wrongdoings, there was always good intentions. I've always had good intentions, and it's just I don't know. It's just a person that just don't want to be stagnated. He strives so hard every day. I wake up and even while I was in prison, I did not leave myself stagnated. I kept myself mentally free. I fought hard. I strived every day, and everything that I got today is because I did not give up.
And that's really important when you're incarcerated and when you're out, not to keep your mind stagnant. You got to keep, exposing your mind and expanding it. And I'm really glad to see you guys work things out. I mean, to me, you look happy. I mean,
Thank you.
so thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for
We
having us.
appreciate you for having us.
And you guys are coming back for Life After. So,
Yes,
I'm going to bring you back
of
for
course.
Life After so we could talk about that and,
Yes.
all the good shit. So
Thank you, Mary.
thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for watching me. See you
Alright,
next
thank you.
week. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.